Hi guys, welcome to Walking with J.Beau. As you can see, it's going to be a little bit sloppy walking today. We had 3 inches of snow last night, which I had to go out and clean. Not my favorite thing in the universe to do, I should add. We have the construction still going on here. A little windy today. $31. Feels like 21 if I'm honest. This water here is starting to freeze. I do not like walking in wind, and it's a little more breezy today than I anticipated, but I'm already out walking, so just put my head down when the wind blows. I do have a face covering, which I just put up. That's much better. So my friends, I want to mention that I did a video yesterday, and choice words for some conservatives in it. I used some profanity. My apologies. And it looks like the YouTube algorithm is punishing me accordingly, because it's only had 11 views with no comments and no likes. So the algorithm is hiding it. My hands are cold already, so we got to try to get my body temperature up by walking. Then I'll be okay. It's windy today. I'm wearing pretty good gloves too, and my hands are getting cold. So I'm going to put them in my pockets and hope I don't slip and fall, because that's a death nail if you fall with your hands in your pockets. But I am on a quest to get my 1,339 miles this year. And I realize the weather is not going to cooperate 100% this year. Today, normally, I would not be walking. But I gotta get to my total, man. On the road. Yep, this might have been a bad idea today, just because of the wind. So I might not be too talkative today. I'm not even sure if I'll upload this video. But I probably will, because every time I say that, I end up doing it anyway. Yeah, it's cold today, my friends. Feels like it's about 20 degrees, easy. My phone says it's 31, but I don't believe it. Because yesterday it was 31 and I was sweating to death while I was walking. Today my toes hurt already. I got my hands in my pockets, so my fingertips are warming up now. That's how we roll, my friends. As soon as my blood gets pumping and my blood vessels expand, my hands will warm up. I'm going to go on the sidewalk here. I'm going to take my sunglasses off, because all that's happening is I'm breathing with my face covered up and my breath is fogging up the sunglasses. So it takes about a mile before my blood vessels expand and I get warm, and that should be coming up ahead here. You'll actually feel like a rush of warmth. So anyway, if you're watching, thank you for watching today. And the YouTube algorithm does flag you if you start swearing. So I'll try not to do that. So I watched some of the DHS Secretary committee hearing today when Democrats are talking about impeaching her right to her face. One of them said something, and one of them said something where he wanted her to denounce this, that, or the other thing, and she actually said, well, I agree with you. If you're upset about the job I'm doing, that's an endorsement that I'm doing a good job. I thought that was hilarious. Now my fingertips are starting to warm up. I'm starting to feel that rush of heat on my upper body. That's my body kicking into overdrive, saying, okay, it's cold, you're walking, we need to increase blood flow to accommodate your physical cardio exercise. which is also how you know you're getting a good cardio workout. I'll probably have to leave my face covered today though, just because it's windy. But if you're walking with me, thank you. If you're watching the videos, thank you. If you're not watching the videos, and you were before, thank you for watching before. Thank you for being a friend. And thank you for loving America. We'll get this stretch out of the way today. It's the most dangerous one because there are no sidewalks. It is a little more difficult to breathe with your face covered. But I don't have any physical limitations. I'll just breathe a little harder and I'll be fine. Democrats today at this hearing, they spent all of their time trying to get Kristi Noem to be emotional and have some kind of tantrum or something. I don't know what their strategy was, but the Democrats look like they always do. Persecutory, saying a bunch of vile things, trying to get her to get in a rage. And she didn't bite. She just sat there calmly and let them talk. And that's a good strategy. Just let them embarrass themselves. They're all looking for their social media clips to fundraise with. That's about all it is. I mean, Congress is such a disappointment. It really is, truly. Now, I'm still seeing people online complaining about Republicans not getting things passed, not getting things done. And I don't know where that comes from. I really don't. The one big beautiful bill had many small bills in it. Many of them that would have been individual standalone bills. And I get it. People want the SAVE Act passed. They want to protect our elections and voter ID and all that, and that stuff's coming up. And that's going to be very difficult with a filibuster. In fact, I'd venture to guess none of that's going to pass unless they stick it in some kind of omnibus or minibus or something like that. But if you want to get something like that passed, and this is what irritates Republicans, they get angry if the Democrats have any kind of earmarks or pork in a bill at all. And the truth of the matter is, if you need Democrat votes to pass something, you're going to have to give them something. That's just the way it is. And that's democratic, whether you like it or not. And perfect example, this minibus coming up in December has to do with health care. Now, the Democrats are using that as a weapon, and it's somewhat effective because there are a lot of Republicans that use the Affordable Care Act. So Democrats know that Republicans cannot allow the Affordable Care Act rates to double. And the only way to prevent that is rewriting new legislation, which the Democrats are never going to support for a Republican White House. Whether it helps the people or not is not the point. So people need to understand that out of the gate. So the Affordable Care Act is going to have to be subsidized with tax dollars. Whether you like it or not, that's the only way that will prevent insurance rates from doubling, because the insurance lobby owns the Democrats. They're not going to rewrite a bill that forces insurance companies to lower their rates, because Democrats are just not going to do that. You need 60 votes, period. Now, John Thune could get rid of the filibuster. We've had this discussion. I do support that now. And that would remedy all of this. Now I'm pulling my face covering down because now I am sweating. So I went from freezing to sweating in about a mile. And that's the whole point, that in the wintertime when you're walking, you have to stick with it. Even if the first mile you're freezing your baguettes off. Okay? So anyway, this stuff with Democrats, very easy to understand. It's very basic. They are not going to give Donald Trump any kind of win whatsoever, even if the American people lose. So with that mindset, you have to change about how you think about these bills and the Affordable Care Act and all this stuff. You have to think about it in a way where you're never going to get Democrat support. So the likelihood of things passing is very slim on their own. So that's why you have rescission bills, reconciliation bills, and omnibuses and minibuses. Any minibus or omnibus is going to require Democrat support, and they're going to want something for it, or nothing will pass at all. So that's just how it is until the filibuster's gone. Now, rescission bills and reconciliation bills are budgetary. There's another one coming in May, and we'll be able to stuff a whole bunch of stuff in it like we did with the One Big Beautiful Bill, because the Democrats are not going to support anything. And that's why it's very important for Republicans and President Trump to lower prices, because it's midterms next year. You have a lot of Republicans that are in districts that they could lose. And if the economy is not banging along like Trump promised, they're going to go against Donald Trump. That's just the nature of politics. It's nothing personal. But President Trump has to do what he said he was going to do. It really comes down to that. And he needs to own it. If he doesn't, he'll lose midterms. He'll be impeached probably 3 times. Because last time, the second impeachment came for Trump without the usual procedural things they do with the trial. They just went ahead and impeached in the House. No hearings, nothing. So, Trump may set a record by being impeached 3 times. So So the Democrats will make a big circus out of it if we don't win midterms. And there's a high probability that normally there would be a high probability of not winning midterms. But this year is going to be different. The one big beautiful bill will kick in and people are going to love that. There's no way you can't. All the media fear-mongering about Medicaid cuts and all this and that, it's all bullshit. It cuts Medicaid for people that don't deserve it. Illegals, for one thing. So, let them fearmonger. People will see for themselves. The president has a plan for circumventing the media, and I support it. Good old Susie Wiles, White House Chief of Staff, who, by the way, ran Trump's brilliant campaign, said, President Trump, you are going to go on the campaign trail again. You're going to be on the road campaigning, doing rallies, just like you did to get elected. And Trump was like, what? I already did all that and I became president. Why is that not good enough? Well, you're going to have to campaign for midterms. The Democrats are talking about affordability, affordability, affordability with no plans to fix it. They're just screaming into the void, affordability. Even though they're the ones that caused all the inflation, spending, most of it. And nothing they do is going to fix it. They can empower again. We're going to have inflation again. High prices, high price of gas, everything. So they're not bullshitting anybody, I hope. That's why Trump has to hit the road. And that's why yesterday I was getting very angry with conservatives for dividing the party and going after each other with infighting instead of going after the real enemy, the far left extremist Democrats, the socialists. I can't even imagine why we're fighting with each other. It's the stupidest thing I've ever seen, and it needs to stop. We need unity. A party that is not united will fail. That's why the Democrats lost everything. So I'm going to be preaching unity, and I'm going to be preaching affordability, especially on the internet. And that's just the way it is. President Trump will do a good job campaigning. The media is going to follow him around like little puppy dogs. And eventually, these Republicans who have had nothing to do because Trump's been busy have strayed away from Trump and are fighting with each other. And it's like the worst thing you could do to the Republican Party is to win everything, because we've seen it for many years. The Democrats win, and then self-inflicted wounds, they shoot themselves in the feet and they lose. Disunity, fighting, bickering, soapboxing. And then you have the Republican voter who's upset that Trump hasn't passed every damn thing he said he campaigned on in 11 months. Like, this is the first time they've ever gotten involved with politics. Is that what it is? It just does not work that way. And we should be thankful for that, because the Democrats would pass the stupidest things easily. But that's, you know, that's the problem with the filibuster. And the reason why I want to get rid of it is they tried to get rid of it already, the Democrats, that is. And they will do it again. Guaranteed. And they'll have the votes this time. So they will get rid of that. And we're going to have a nightmare. So we need to do it first and do our nightmare first. Let the Democrats play cleanup later. I've had enough, and I'm sure you have as well. I've been blocking some of these conservative accounts causing problems. Nick Fuentes, Clint Russell, Candace Owens. I'm just going to block them. I just don't want to hear them. I don't want to get involved with that. I'm going to spend my time being positive, talking to other Republicans nicely to get with the program. And remember, we're trying to save a country, not throw daggers at each other. I think that'll be very positive. And I hope you think so too. As you can see, a snowscape. The sun out today, thankfully. The wind is dying down a little bit over here. Now this person here has got their height. They have their driveway right down to the pavement, which is nice. And they cleaned a lot of the sidewalk. So we're gonna head down this way. So that wind is really let up, at least for now. So my back's been feeling really good for 2 days, sciatic, but I had to go out and clean snow last night, and had to make a big deal about I'm not going to use the snow machine for 3 inches of snow. So I used the push scoop, and I probably should have used the machine because I did twinge my sciatic a little bit. So technically I should not be walking today. But I'm stubborn. I just don't want to be defeated. I got to get my 1,339 miles. Now today, the good news is, I'll have 1,302 miles after today. Isn't that awesome? That means I will be within range with 5 or 6 walks to tie my record for last year. Isn't that awesome? A nice looking sky today. Look at that. That's the backyard where I saw a bear. A bar. And I see some footprints there. It's either deer or a bear again. Out in the distance by that tree. Something went through there. Probably a deer. I noticed deer tracks in our yard in the snow at the ranch. Sometimes I see them out there, sometimes I don't. I saw them out there on Halloween night last time I saw them. 2 of them snooping around. They were snooping around. Some people have their lawn deflatables deflated because it's windy. That's the only thing about those. Yeah, I managed to get sweaty. Toes are warmed up, my hands are warmed up, my face is warm enough to be uncovered because I got my blood flow going. also forgot to start my app till I was about a half mile into my walk, so I'm gonna have to add a half mile to my app distance. So goes life, because I got distracted with mounting the head camera, and then I was ready to leave and the mail had gone by, so I had to bring the mail back in the house, so it came and all that, and I just forgot to start the app. Some solar panels on the roof. Electricity rates are going up in Maine in January. Average cost per customer about $12 more a month. 12 bucks is 12 bucks. And it's to pay for these damn subsidies. You know, Democrats passed that legislation. And because of climate stuff, subsidies and all that, rates go up, and they never seem, well, they did come down last year, but they're raising them again. Hi. So they came down about $30 a month the last 6 months. And now they're raising it up $11, $12 on average. So they giveth and they taketh away. It's a game they play, so Democrats before an election can say we're lowering your rates, and then they go right back up again because they think people are stupid, which apparently they are. I don't know what we can do about that, really. How do we deal with stupid people? A lot of these stupid people, you show them the truth and facts, and they get confrontational about it, and you're not even being confrontational when you show it to them. Can't fix that. The left has everybody so angry right now because of Trump and ICE and all this other stuff that they shouldn't be angry about. Democrats are promising to go on a vengeance tour when they get the House. They want that House so bad they can taste it. It'll be political opportunity for them to turn their ship around, and they will wield all of it, probably doing things we've never seen before, like Trump has done. So that's going to be fun. But what if Trump solidifies his legacy by actually winning the House at midterms because he did what he said he was going to? Are the Democrats going to get the black vote back? Are they going to get the Hispanic vote they lost? I don't believe it. A lot of those people went independent, and we need to win the independents by showing results, and we should be fine. I think we are in a new era of politics. It's not politics as usual anymore, and the one big beautiful bill really is a big beautiful bill. And I will encourage you once again, if you haven't already, do an internet search, Google, Bing, whatever, search for One Big Beautiful Bill, or OBBB. An O with 3 B's. You will hit on the official congressional website, and like I said, make sure it's .gov and not .org, because there is a fake one made to look like the government one that's all full of bullshit and lies. So make sure you get the right one. Click on the summary tab on the left, and it will summarize everything that this bill does. And there's a lot in it you haven't heard about because there's just so much in it. And Mike Johnson said that's been a problem getting the word out about it, because they passed such a big bill that there's just a lot of stuff in it people just don't know. The Democrats focused on all the stuff that is voter related, that matters to Democrat voters. Medicaid, SNAP, all this other stuff. It's not what the bill is about. You wouldn't know that unless you go read it yourself, so that's why I'm telling you, go read it yourself. Take your time, look up each item in it, news articles about it. The liberal legacy media didn't spend too much time writing about the small change. They wrote all about SNAP and that stuff, so go look at the other stuff, the tax cuts. Now, we had snow last night and they plowed again, so it's tough walking on the sidewalks. So I'm going to do what I absolutely hate doing, walking in the road in the wintertime. Many people driving just are not looking for pedestrians. Even though we got the bicycle lane I'm walking in, this guy's parked on it and he shouldn't be. But in fairness, he doesn't have anywhere else to park. Well, hey, I got 2 days of walking in a row. It's going to be getting cold again soon, though. I don't know if it'll be too cold to walk yet. If we get 25 degrees, the sun's out, and there's no wind, that's great. But if it's windy, it feels like 15, and that's not walkable for me. Today was borderline. I just hit 2 miles, and right up ahead here I usually hit 2.5, so I started my app about a quarter mile head start, so I'm behind a quarter mile, so I'll know to adjust that later on. Had an album in my head I want to listen to this afternoon when I get back while I cook some supper. It's an album by Fate's Warning called Awaken the Guardian. It's one of my favorite 80s metal albums. Absolutely fantastic. I know it front to back. I've listened to it many times. Used to have it on cassette. Have it on vinyl. Actually, I still have it on cassette. Very sloppy walking today. The cities will clean the streets again. They go a little crazy with it, which is good. Well, walking on this stuff right here is like walking on sand on the beach almost. Now we're gonna walk up this way. Hi. Kid had a nice smile. Looked happy, sort of. He looked a little lost in thought. Hopefully everything's okay with him. Well, we're gonna walk up this way. Like we have 1,000 times. I'll bet you I've walked this route about 1,000 times in almost 5 years. It's pretty much my wintertime route. It's just very difficult to go for normal walks anywhere you want in the wintertime. I do not like walking in the road in the wintertime when the roads are narrower. I've explained that already. But here you go. So it's kind of irritating that we want everything and people are becoming incohesive, disunified, disjointed, and there's not even a power vacuum. Trump is still the president, and you know, it's a constant battle, because if all these fake polls keep coming out saying people can't afford to buy bread and all this other bullshit, which isn't true, wages are up. You still have a way to go to catch what wages do for people. Because under Biden, people's wages and the power of what they were earning went down because of higher costs. So it's just going to have to be, people are going to have to physically see prices are lower. And unfortunately, that's not going to happen for 3-4 more months. It'll get better every day as we go on. Gas Buddy today announced there are 4 states where the average price of gas is $1.99 right now. I wish this was one of them, but those prices are coming down. Fuel prices coming down trickle through and cause fuel prices going down cause food prices to go down. That's why the Trump administration focused heavily on energy. Bringing the cost of energy down, that lowers electricity bills, it lowers a lot of cost for a lot of people. I mean, people were seeing $5 a gallon in 2022, and now it's down to $3, $2.50, $2.75, and 4 states for $1.99. Quite possibly almost every state in the country that isn't blue. And what I mean by blue is hopelessly blue. New York, Hawaii, California. Fortunately, Maine does not fit in that, even though a lot of people in the country believe Maine is a hyper-progressive lost blue state. It's not. At least not yet. Fuel prices do go down here. But what the Democrats will do here, oh, fuel prices have come down. $2.25 a gallon if it gets to that point. Well, let's raise taxes. They can afford it now. The prices are so low. And that's what they do. Because then if prices go back up, now you're paying way more. And that's what's happening in California. That's a perfect example. They're still paying $4 or $5 a gallon, even though prices have come down because of the ridiculous taxes. So in Maine, though, voters will get angry and not vote for Democrats. So that's good. We have a lot of independents in Maine. California does not. New York does not either. They have independents, and you can't win without them, but they're not as big a percentage of the electorate like they are in Maine. Literally 1/3 of Maine's voters are unaffiliated or independent. Democrats push for things. And in the last election we had, some of them got voted out. So they make a mental note of it. Okay, well, let's just push not as hard, but we'll push anyway. Hi. Got the mailman. I'm walking in this cold all day. I think today I'll hang a left over here. Actually, no, I'm not going to, just because that stretch on the way back without sidewalks is not a good route to walk. So I'll stick to the right here. I'll have sidewalks. You know what I mean? And much safer. Safer is betterer. Does not mean I won't have to deal with stupid people in vehicles. Spent a good part of my evening last night unclogging the shower drain. Thanks. Boy, she's impatient. She sees me, but she's looking around like she wants to go. Like, get out of my way, I want to go. So anyway, I'm telling you, the best stuff for cleaning drain clogs that I have ever used is actually the cheapest. It's called, not so cleverly, hair clog. That's what it's called. They sell it at Walmart for $4.75. One container should do it for you. It works best when put directly on the clog. So if you got a clog somewhere in your pipes and you pour it down your drain, it might work, but it might not. Probably won't. And what you need to do, because it's almost pure lye. It's like liquefied lye. Very, very caustic to skin. Gotta be careful with it. And the best thing to do is put some in there. Let it sit for over an hour. And then run some water and see what kind of progress you got. And then put some more in there. And I ended up using a whole bottle and let it sit for 15 hours. And then you'd run purely hot water for a few minutes. Just let your water tank just run through your pipes. It opened right up. So I'm very happy. I mean, I was in the shower and the water was pooling. It just wasn't draining at all. And this opened it right up. Great stuff. So again, it's called hair clog. That's what it's called. So this is going to be a tough stretch to walk through today. They plowed over the sidewalk and they haven't cleaned the sidewalks yet. So this is what I wanted to avoid, because this is much more difficult to walk on. It's much more effort, and I'm not going to walk in the road on this street. I'll get killed. So I could have gone that other way with no sidewalks, less traffic, or walk this way on dirty sidewalks with too much traffic. And they will clean this sidewalk eventually. It's just this new snow from last night. No, they just haven't done it yet. So I'll take my time. I'll get to where I'm going. Now over here, I got a little stretch with no cars. So I'll walk in the road as much as I can until cars come. And we got this vehicle here coming. Right. Thank you. So this is the kind of thing you got to watch out for when you walk in the wintertime. Now this sidewalk over here is okay enough to walk on, so I'll go back on it and get cars coming. So good sweat going. Now I've noticed lately that this battery says it's depleted. I take it out and I put in the other one. Then when I get home to put it in the charger, it tells me it has 54% left. So I'm like, how can it have 54% left when I was walking, it said it was at 3%. So that's obviously something that started with the cold weather, and it's a different brand battery than what I've been using. So the batteries work fine, they last as long as they should, but for some reason when it's cold I get a false reading on them. And it's probably not a false reading, because batteries in cold weather are not very good. They don't last long. So I take them out, put them in my pocket, and then when I get home, the battery's warmed up and it's got 50% left. 52, 54, whatever. But 2 batteries has been enough for a walk, so that's all I care about. In the summertime, I can almost do a full walk on 1 battery. And in the wintertime, I'm getting about 3/4 or less on a battery. I'm going to veer off to the side today. Ooh, my hands are all sweaty. Isn't that amazing? You can go from your fingertips being cold, and when you start walking, you warm right up everywhere. I mean, I am sweating head to toe right now. I'm not sweating on my face, but my face is warm enough where it's not uncomfortable. Now this here says I got 14% of the battery left. So, and it is gonna go flat. Problem is the battery is frozen. Even though the camera is mounted on my head. So, I'm gonna take a second right now and change it. Put it in my pocket and it will rejuvenate this battery. Isn't that amazing? I'll be right back, my friends. All right, my friends. I got a fresh batterino in it. Put my gloves back on. Wind's picking up again. That's not good. Motivate. There we go. Fresh battery in there. Now I made a mental note. Somebody's trash blowing around on the road. I made a mental note of the percentage of the battery that was left. It said 14%. So I'm going to see what it says after it warms up in my pocket and I put it in the charger. battery did feel very cold when I took it out of the camera. Thanks. Fieldings, oil and propane. Looks like somebody's having furnace problems. Heat pumps. Maybe they're installing a heat pump. Been a big push on the heat pumps here in Maine. Being sold as something that saves you money, but it's good for the climate. Love is all around. Well, not on social media, it isn't. Oop, that water right there is freezing. My foot just slipped a little bit. It's another reason why I do most of my walking during the day in the wintertime. Sometimes at night. All of this stuff refreezes. Treacherous walking. And I just opt not to walk. So this is good though, because today we're going to have over 1,300 miles today for the year. Pretty awesome milestone. Pretty awesome. Again, I apologize for the profanity I used in the last walk. Please forgive me. Sun feels nice. Sun always feels nice, even when it's cold. On my weather app, I was looking at a town I can't pronounce, northern Alaska, in the Arctic Circle. The high temperature yesterday was minus 22, and the low temperature was minus 22 because it's going to be dark until spring. You call spring for them. There's also some parts where they'll have 60 days of night. Some places will be 3 months. Then they'll get a little bit of light with really long days, long nights, a little bit of light. It's going to have a tough time this year if we keep having wind. The Christmas decorations, you see that? This Christmas bulb just blew. I'm going to pick this up for them. Their Christmas balls are blowing over. They're losing their Christmas bulbs. Yeah, well, I gotta tell you, not a fan of this wind today, and I just think I'm just not gonna walk when it's windy, period. Under 10 miles an hour will be my gauge. So not colder than 25. Wind under 10. No walking at night. Sun is out, that's a plus. But if it's cloudy and there's more humidity in the air, that's okay, because it usually feels warmer. So that's how I'm going to work it. That's it. And we still got this church still covered up. Nobody's been doing any work on it. All I can think of is they got into it with the contractor, legal things, or they wanted more money and the church won't pay. Maybe somebody's suing, because that should be done by now. It's been over a year. Alright, we'll get to the end of this walk here. Another mile and a half to go, maybe, approximately. This stuff is starting to refreeze. We're losing the sun. Sunset's early. Like that right there is starting to gloss over. This stuff that's still wet, it's got calcium chloride in it from snow melt the city put down. That doesn't freeze till about 20 degrees. I gotta check the wind forecast tonight. I didn't put the trash out last week because it was windy. It blows all over. And it's gonna be trash night tonight, and it's windy again. So hopefully that'll die down tonight. If it does, I'll put the trash out. If it doesn't, or if we get more snow, then I won't. We'll get backlogged with trash. Welcome to winter. Yeah. all the cars. Whew, I feel like I did a lot more walking today than normal. And I did. It's a lot more difficult walking in bad weather, snow and stuff. It's almost like walking in sand. Not quite, but similar. And you're always keeping your guard so you don't slip on ice, so your muscles tense up. So you end up doing a lot more exercise than you intended compared to if the weather was nice. Nice meaning like spring with no ice and snow. So I just hit 4 miles, a little off kilter. I should have hit 4 miles outside Bork's Market. So I started my app late. So there's that. So now I'm sure it's about a 1/4 mile off. Yep, I feel like I walked 6 miles today already. It's only been 4. I'm gonna have to earn that 1,339, aren't I? Looks like it. I'm gonna get there before January 1st. I'm so close right now, I can taste it. I mean, technically 39 is nothing because that's a week of walking. So I got 3 weeks left to do a week of walking. Can I do it? Will Mother Nature allow me to? If not, it's not the end of the world. I still had a good year. We're talking about a week or less short. Still over 1,300 miles officially right now. We're at 1,300 even right now for the year. Not too shabby. How are you? He was completely not dressed for this, and he's also not from around here, if you noticed. I'm sure where he comes from, it's warm almost every day all year. Must be a shock. Besides the culture shock, you have the weather shock. I just saw that guy had a hard time seeing because he had sun in his face. So I will pay attention to anybody turning my way because they may not see me. That's why you got to pay attention. I got a shoe that's getting loose. And I don't feel like tying right now. But I may not have a choice. Yeah, the wind died down a little bit. I'll take my mask down. My face covering. I don't want to get the COVID. A little humor there. I might catch COVID from a tree. Oh, that tree doesn't look healthy. I better mask up. I'll catch the tree COVID. Whew. You know how much friggin' money that asshole Dr. Fauci cost us? Oh, I'm not supposed to swear. I take it back. Algorithm, I'm sorry. You know, we didn't quite know what we were dealing with COVID when it started, but I'll bet you that son of a bitch knew, because he had ties with the NIH. Gain of function research. He's probably well aware. We'll never know, unfortunately. Great tragedy, and somebody needs to be held responsible for that. Yeah, so I'm not doing a selfie today because it's cold, windy, whatever. Gotta keep my hands warm in my pockets once in a while. It's just cumbersome to carry a selfie stick. Yesterday it felt warmer, wasn't windy, so I carried one. The way the ice crust crumbles. So I saw something that was pretty alarming in Maine here. Somebody was attacked by somebody's dog, and they took their gun they were carrying and they shot the dog. Normally you would say, okay, well, they had a right to do that. It's also against the law in Maine to kill an animal with your firearm unless you are a police officer or somebody licensed to kill animals, like an animal control officer. So what happened was, there was another instance, so there's two of them, where there was a cat that got hit by a car. Its ass end was all broken, ripped open. Was obviously paralyzed, and it was suffering. The guy called the animal control officer and nobody was coming. So he took his gun and he killed the cat, and now he's getting charged with killing an animal with a firearm. And that's what you get in Maine. So I carry a firearm in my walks, and if a pit bull's attacking me, obviously I'm going to shoot the dog. Thank you. Thanks. So obviously I'm going to shoot the dog. I wouldn't want to. I'd try to avoid it, but a pit bull will cause you so much damage, you have to. So I mean, did they distinguish? Shooting a pit bull is okay, but shooting a cat seems cruel. I don't have any more info on that story, but it certainly is alarming. I'm not going to wait for the police or an animal control officer if a pit bull is attacking me. It's impossible. You'd have to shoot it. So you'd have to take whatever consequences come from it, which you could get 18 months in jail for it and or a fine. And they would probably change it to just a fine if it was obvious the dog was going to rip you to pieces. I mean, would you get charged if you got bit by a pit bull and you needed surgery and all this other stuff and you killed the dog? The funny part is, when you get a pit bull that attacks somebody that causes harm like that, what do? They euthanize the friggin' dog. They killed the dog anyway. So it's stupid. That's what you get with Democrats. You get things that are just not common sense. I mean, that's stupid. You have to admit that's really dumb, right? Absolutely outrageous. And that reminds me of a time when I was younger. I was in my 20s. This car hit a cat, broke its back, messed it all up. Me and this guy were looking at the cat, and the cat's suffering. So we started looking around for a pipe or a 2x4. We're going to put the cat out of its misery. It was clearly suffering terribly. The cat ended up dying anyway. But how many people don't know that there are laws protecting animals like that? And you know, I understand the law was intended to treat animals humanely, but Democrats always leave out the details. So it doesn't matter if you were doing it to protect yourself or if another dog was attacking your dog. I mean, if you got a little chihuahua and a pit bull's attacking your dog, you're going to want to shoot the pit bull. Why is that a crime? Stupid. So anyway, I'm going to try to get more information about that story. As we see the construction progress here, that definitely looks like it's going to be some kind of shed or barn or something. It's awfully tall. Makes me wonder what they're going to have in it. 2 stories maybe? Doesn't look like it. Very strange. I will be watching to see what goes in there. It's a big mystery. Alright, this stuff right here is starting to freeze. It's getting slippery. It was soft when we came by earlier. Now it's not. I'm going to be careful. I don't want to fall on my ass on video, because you're going to see the sky real quick and you're going to hear me going, oh, oh, help me, I'm gonna die, I can't breathe. Anyways, I'm going to take the camera off my head to say goodbye. Alright, my friends, thank you very much for walking with me today. Click like and subscribe, share the content, say a prayer for Trump and the country. God bless you and your family. Stay strong. Make America healthy again. Make America great again. We'll see you on the next MAHA walk, my friends. Thank you for coming with me today. Oh, that sun feels nice. Bye-bye. See ya.